Well, it's 10 minutes gone in this international rugby league fixture between Wide Bay and the Kiwis, being played on the Albert Park ground before a crowd that must be considered very, very good in view of the fact that the match was postponed from yesterday until today. And at the moment, after 10 minutes of play, the score is 5-0 in favour of the Kiwis. Their first points came from a penalty goal by fullback Doug Elwood, and later a brilliant try to the New Zealanders with 5'8" Ricky Carey crossing wide out on the southern side of the ground. Doug Elwood on that occasion failed to add the extras, and at the moment, 12 minutes of play gone, and Kiwis are leading Wide Bay by 5 points to 0. Play now is in centre field, about 10 yards over the halfway mark in Wide Bay territory. New Zealand has won the ball, but the Wide Bay halfback, Cole Reynolds, was around very smartly to knock down the opposing 5'8" Bob Irvine. Now the New Zealanders lost possession, picked it up very nicely indeed in centre field, and winger Ron Ballantyne, who had come in out of position from the left wing, came in to get possession, was tackled almost immediately by the Wide Bay second rower, Gary Pearson. From the ruck, it goes out to the New Zealand hooker, Tony Kulatich, but now they have lost possession. And here's a little bit of a stoush here between the Wide Bay hooker, Noel Gallagher, and the New Zealand winger, Lester Mills. However, it was a very short-lived affair, and play now goes back to centre field with Gallagher attacking and making the halfway mark before being pulled down by Bill Deacon, the Maori front rower. Deacon plays the ball back. It goes to Brady, onto Reynolds, who kicks down into the New Zealand 25, where it's recovered by Lester Mills, the New Zealand winger, but he makes very little ground before being pulled to ground by the Wide Bay outside centre, Liam Duggan. 25 minutes of play gone in the first half between the Kiwis and Wide Bay, and the score still remains Kiwis 5 and Wide Bay 0. At the moment, the Kiwis are on the attack. 2 moments ago, Wide Bay had an excellent chance to score. They had New Zealand pinned down on their own goal line, but a drop pass spoiled the best chance they have had up to date of adding points. Now here is a penalty to Wide Bay. It's being taken by the Maryborough second rower, Gary Pearson. Pearson puts it high into the air and finds touch on the southern side of the ground. Pearson took a penalty kick for Wide Bay about 3 moments ago, which led to the near try, and it was a magnificent kick, gained about 50 yards. Well, here's the tap penalty being taken by the Wide Bay halfback, Cole Reynolds. It comes inside for the Wide Bay 5'8" Peter Cartwright. He drops the ball, picks it up, regathers, and finally, after being tackled, gets it away to the Wide Bay halfback, Cole Reynolds, who in turn gets it away to the fullback for Wide Bay, Jimmy Lingard. But play now has gone down almost to the halfway mark. 28 minutes of play gone in the first half, and no alteration to the score. New Zealand leading Wide Bay by 5 points to 0, and Wide Bay in possession at the moment. The outside setter, Cole Smith, playing the ball now. It has gone from the ruck to fullback, Jimmy Lingard. Lingard stepping around in centre field, but he can't get past the defence. And down he goes in centre field, 15 yards over the halfway mark in Wide Bay territory. From the ruck, it goes to the second rower, Ivan Dent. Dent in turn passes outfield. "35 minutes of play gone. New Zealand leads Wide Bay by 10 points to 0, and Wide Bay on the attack. At the moment, play in centre field with the Wide Bay halfback Cole Reynolds getting the ball away to Cole Christopher, the front rower. And here's the winger going into the corner for Wide Bay. No, he has missed it. It looked like Duggan would go in for Wide Bay, but he missed by inches. But it's still Wide Bay on the attack, and they won't be denied. It looks like Christensen has made it. No, they've held him up an inch short of the line, and it's Christensen getting up now to play the ball to Gallagher, and the Wide Bay hooker is in. It's first blood for Wide Bay, and the score now, no, it's not over yet. The referee signals no try, and it's Gallagher getting up now to play his ball. Comes out from the ruck to halfback Colin Reynolds. Reynolds can't get through the wall of defence, and the referee has ordered a scrum. Apparently Reynolds knocked that ball on when attempting to get up after being tackled, and a scrum pack's now only 5 yards from the New Zealand line, and in the corner on the southern side of this Albert Park ground. It's a win from the scrum to the New Zealanders. He came out to 5'8" Ricky Carey. Carey tackler gets up now and plays the ball to the front rower, Ray Snell. Outside goes the pass to O'Neill, but the pass is forward. It's a penalty kick to Wide Bay. And apart from the try-scoring opportunity, they last at the 12th minute of They lost at the 12th minute of the game. This is the first real chance that Wide Bay has had of scoring, and have called fullback Jimmy Lingard up from his fullback position to have a shot at goal. Could be a very, very easy one. Now they're giving it to Gallagher. The Wide Bay hooker. Noel Gallagher is taking it. It's from inside of the New Zealand 25 and right in front of the sticks, and Gallagher should have no difficulty whatever. They did call Jim Lingard up, but apparently the captain, Carl Weiss, either reversed his decision, or the order to Lingard to come up and take the shot at goal was not authorised by Weiss, because Weiss now has brought Gallagher in. And here's the big Wide Bay hooker going in for a shot at goal. Ball straight up and down, away it goes. And the flags are up, and Wide Bay has opened their score. The score now, with half-time coming up in this international fixture, is New Zealand 10, Wide Bay 2. Wide Bay 2 points, that penalty goal by hooker Noel Gallagher. 10 points to 2, and half-time coming up. About 3 minutes of play remaining in this first half. New Zealand now facing into the sun. They're facing the southern end of the ground. Coming up now to the halfway mark to set the game going, and fullback Doug Elwood places the ball in centre field and will direct it towards the southern side of the ground, or the grandstand side. He gets it away high into the air, lands in the field of play, and big Ray Smith, or Gary Smith, went through to get position, but the referee has awarded a penalty there. Apparently we're in front of that ball when it was kicked. It's a penalty to Wide Bay. Centre field from the halfway mark. Coming in to take it is the Wide Bay second rower, the tall, rangy second rower, Gary Pearson. Here it goes, high into the air, down the northern side, and he is found touch with a very nice kick. This scrum will go down in New Zealand territory on the northern side of the Albert Park ground and about 8 yards outside of the New Zealand 25. Score at the moment with half-time coming up, New Zealand 10, Wide Bay 2. Now play goes across field to the outside centre, Cole Smith. He gets the ball away to the inside centre, Ralph Reynolds. Reynolds makes quite a deal of ground before it's being put to ground heavily by the New Zealand defence. Tackler there was Gary Smith. Play now, the ball still in the position of the Wide Bay boys, and it's Pearson in position. Tackle in centre field. He gets it away to 5'8" Peter Cartwright. Cartwright beats one man, gets the ball away. Inside it goes to Dent, and here's a great chance. But the Wide Bay 5'8" Peter Cartwright lost possession of the ball. We're looking at the scoreboard at half-time in this International Rugby League fixture between the New Zealand Kiwis and Wide Bay. We see the Kiwis leading Wide Bay by 10 points to 4. And all things considered, I think it must be agreed that Wide Bay is putting up a very, very creditable performance indeed. Running through the point scorers in the match, New Zealand was first to open their account with a penalty goal by fullback Doug Elwood. Then we saw the best try of the match, finished off with a beautiful try wide out on the southern side of the ground by the New Zealand 5'8" Ricky Carey. The conversion attempt by Elwood failed, but Elwood, the New Zealand fullback, subsequently raised the flags with a very fine penalty goal to take the score on to New Zealand 7, Wide Bay 0. Then followed another try to New Zealand, the result of combined movement in which several forwards and several backs handled, and it finished with winger left to middle going over wide out on the northern side of this Albert Park ground to add 3 more points, taking the New Zealand total to 10. The conversion attempt failed, and the Wide Bay points came from a penalty goal by Noel Gallagher and another penalty goal by fullback Jim Lingard, and that's the position at Albert Park at half-time. New Zealand 10, Wide Bay 4. Wide Bay on the attack, but the ball is nicely taken near the New Zealand line by fullback Doug Elwood. And I'm sorry, it was a winger left for Mills, and a good run by Mills got him right out of trouble, and he is finally pulled down, and he's lost the ball to Reynolds, the Wide Bay half-back. Gets up now, plays the ball back to the Wide Bay hooker Gallagher, out to Reynolds. The player in possession, incidentally, was Ralph Reynolds. Reynolds gets up now, plays the ball away to Brosnan, who has come on in the second half of this match. Out it goes to the Wide Bay lock forward, Cole Weiss. Further afield back to Colin Reynolds. Outside to the second rower, Pearson. And Pearson is pulled down in centre field about 8 yards out from the New Zealand 25. It's Wide Bay in possession. Play in progress about 3 minutes in the second half of the match. And New Zealand leading Wide Bay by 10 points to 4. And at the moment, it's the New Zealand fullback, Doug Elwood, being tossed rather heavily by the Wide Bay fullback, Bob Ryan. However, he gets up, plays the ball away to Orchard, outside to the New Zealand lock forward, Gary Smith, and the big rangy blondie-headed Smith makes quite a deal of ground before being pulled down. He gets to plays the ball away to O'Neill. Outside it goes to Orchard, but there's a knock on here. Whistle will blow any moment. And no, it's Wide Bay in possession now, and it's Smith for Wide Bay making quite a bit of ground before being put out just in from the touchline on the northern side of this Albert Park ground, where he gets up and plays the ball away to Ralph Reynolds. It's swung across the line now to Dent onto Pearson outside to the half back. Todd Brosnan it was. Further afield it goes to the lock forward, Carl Weiss, and play now is in front of the grandstand and Wide Bay on the attack. New Zealand defending hard now as Wide Bay. It's Lingard getting up. I don't know how Lingard got up there to be in the movement, but he certainly was. Inside goes the pass to Brosnan on further to Dent, and the second row now will get up to play this ball, which he does. He swings it away to Pearson, and an attempt at the field goal didn't leave the ground. It's taken in front of the sticks by Elwood. New Zealand fullback moves out very nicely, and here's a high pass to the second rower, O'Neill. Was it? No, it was the inside set of White. White was thrown into touch, and the scrum will tack now on the northern side of the ground and just outside of the New Zealand 25. New Zealand wins the scrum, and halfback Brown races across field, is tackled, gets the ball away to White once again. White this time gets the pass away to his co-centre, Christensen. Christensen makes a lot of ground before getting the ball away to Ballantyne, and now the New Zealand winger is pulled down in Wide Bay territory, about 10 yards short of the Wide Bay 25. Play on the southern side of the ground, and it's O'Neill, this busy second row for New Zealand, in possession, makes a bit of ground, gets the ball away to White. Try. It's a try by Wayne White. Not a bad try either. Actually, the lead-up work was done by Colin O'Neill, the second rower. White was Johnny on the spot to take the ball, and he went over almost unopposed, and that try by Wayne White takes the score now on to New Zealand, the 13, Wide Bay 4, and play has been in progress in the second half of the match, approximately 5 minutes. 5 or 6 minutes gone, and here is Elwood coming up now to attempt the conversion. The try by Wayne White. There's White receiving congratulatory handshake from fullback Doug Elwood, who is going up now to place the ball. It's a comparatively easy one. He's been kicking very well indeed, Elwood. He disdains the little bucket of sand this time. He prefers the old-fashioned method of digging the hole. He kicks his ball in the orthodox manner, lace up, and on the vertical plane, the horizontal plane. He's particularly well today. He's got 3 across at the bait. He's missed 2, both of them by very narrow margins. Here is Elwood, only a short run, about 3 paces. Bang, away it goes, and he has no difficulty in lifting the flags, and that now takes the score on to New Zealand 15, Wide Bay 4. New Zealand 15, Wide Bay 4, and play in progress about 7 minutes in the second half of this International Rugby League fixture. Carl Reynolds, the Wide Bay halfback now, comes up to the centre of the field, halfway mark, places the ball, preparatory to setting the game in motion again, and he will direct it to the southwestern corner of the field, which he does. He lifts it high into the air. The only Wide Bay player to get up with that ball before it landed was the second row, Ivan Dent, but New Zealand got possession. Now the ball is rolling loose, the whistle has blown, and they're going to play the knock-on which occurred just outside of the New Zealand 25 and a few yards in from touch on the southern side of the ground. New Zealand 15, Wide Bay 4, and approximately 31 minutes of play remaining in the match. And New Zealand has been penalised. The referee has not indicated what scrum breach occurred. No idea. He indicates it now. Put up on part of the New Zealand hooker, Tony Kulatich. That's the Wide Bay second rower, Gary Pearson, coming in to take this one. He's going to put it into the air. Lingard ran out as though they wanted him to take the shot at penalty goal. But Pearson puts it high into the air, and it's a nice-looking kick from here. It's a magnificent kicker, is it? No, it's gone too far. It went out over the corner flag, so play now will be brought back to the New Zealand 25. New Zealand to drop out from their 25. Play in progress, 11 minutes in the second half, and New Zealand leading Wide Bay by 15 points to 4. Fullback Doug Elwood comes up now. Drops it away from that 25-yard mark, giving his forwards plenty of time, but it didn't go far enough. Bob Orchard came up to regain possession, but the ball did not travel the distance required under the rules of rugby league, and it's a penalty to Wide Bay. Now I see Lingard coming up from the fullback position once again. Yes, I would say that Jim Lingard has been called up by the White Bay captain, Col Weiss, to have a shot at goal. The score at the moment, New Zealand 15, White Bay 4, and here's an excellent chance to add 2 more to it. Lingard is successful this time. It will put White Bay within striking distance. It would make the score 15-6, which is not an impossible position, with almost 30 minutes of play remaining in the match. Blonde-headed Lingard takes plenty of time about placing his ball. Coming back now, 5 paces on. He goes in, head down, arms out, spears it away, and he has lifted the flag. So that takes it on now to New Zealand 15, White Bay 6. 15-6 the score at Albert Park in this International Rugby League fixture between New Zealand and White Bay. White Bay's points came from a penalty goal by hooker Noel Gallagher and 2 penalty goals by fullback Jim Lingard. New Zealand now to set play in progress again with a kick centre field from the halfway mark. Elwood placed the ball there, but it was finally kicked away by Bill Deacon. And now play goes right back onto the White Bay goal line where winger Liam Duggan gets possession, runs it out for 20 yards where he is tackled. He gets the ball away to Ralph Reynolds, the White Bay inside centre. He in turn is tackled. Now the ball has gone out to the White Bay lock forward called Weiss. And Weiss has got the ball away to Pearson. That's the 3rd tackle, waiting for the 4th tackle. Coming up now. And White Bay in possession centre field. And they've lost the ball here, but it was knocked on rather badly by the New Zealand halfback Brown. There's no whistle. White Bay in possession once again. It went from Dent to who? Dent to the replacement Kerr. They're getting up now to play the ball. It's gone to halfback Colin Reynolds. Puts his footwood, lands in centre field, midway between the New Zealand 25 and the halfway mark. And, no further additions to the score. New Zealand leading White Bay by 15 points to 6. New Zealand on the attack at the moment with centre Wayne White skirting the northern touchline. Tackle gets the ball inside for 5'8" Ricky Kerry. Halfback Brown is waiting for it now. He gets the ball away inside to the big fellow Tony Krulitich. And there's fullback Doug Elwood up into the movement, but he's pulled down by Col Reynolds. And the referee has halted play, and he is packing a scrum. There must have been a knock on there. Scrum packing in centre field, 1 yard outside of the White Bay 25. And what do we see what happens here? Yes, there's an injured player on the New Zealand side. Couldn't say who it is from here, but I'd say it could be Lester Mills. Play held up. No, it is not. It's a hooker. Tony Krulitich is the injured New Zealand player. Play will be held up now while this player receives treatment. Well, we're halfway down in the second half of this game. 20 minutes played, 20 to go, and the score remains New Zealand 15, White Bay 6. At the moment, play is located in centre field, midway between the White Bay 25 and the halfway mark, where White Bay were penalised for a rucking breach, and New Zealand has called fullback Doug Elwood up to have a shot at goal. Just checking through the scores here, Elwood opened the scores with a very good penalty goal. He later got another penalty goal, and then later he converted the try by centre Wayne White. So his contribution to the score is 6 points, 2 penalty goals and a conversion. New Zealand suffered their first injury in the match a few moments ago when Tony Krulitich was injured, but he's quite okay again now. And we just wait for Doug Elwood, New Zealand fullback, to put this one away and his attempt at another penalty goal. And here he comes into it. Looks all right from here too. Yes, it's over again. So that's Elwood's 4th goal of the match, and that one takes the score on to New Zealand 17, White Bay 6. White Bay's 6 points came from 1 penalty goal by Noel Gallagher. He kicked the first, and 2 subsequent penalty goals by fullback Jim Lingard. Now the White Bay halfback, Colin Reynolds, is about to place the ball in centre field on the halfway mark. We'll direct it into that southwestern corner of the Albert Park ground to set the game in progress again. 21 minutes of play gone. New Zealand leading White Bay by 17 points to 6. And there goes the kick-off by Reynolds, goes high into the air. Taken, thrown back to halfback Brown, back to fullback Elwood. His kick goes into the air and travels downfield a great distance, almost onto the wide bay 25, where fullback Jim Lidgard comes along, runs 10 yards, dummies, then goes down to a tackle by Roy Christensen. Gets up, the ball is played away to the wide bay second rower, Pearson. When tackled, he gets it away to Cole Smith, about a wide bay outside centre. Pearson acting as ruck half. Clears the ruck, but New Zealand was offside. You saw them standing up there well inside, and it's a penalty kick to wide bay, which Pearson will take. He'll try and find touch on the northern side of the ground and does so. And he has driven play down now to a point only about 6 yards outside of the New Zealand 25, where halfback Colin Reynolds comes in now to take the tap penalty. Taps her over, picks her up, gets her inside to Gallagher. Gallagher dummies his way through. He was almost into the open, but the defence was found, and it will be Gallagher to play the ball almost in centre field and inside of the New Zealand 25. From the ruck it goes to Reynolds, outside to Weiss, outside once again to Kerry Brown, inside of Weiss, and Weiss looked like scoring. No, they've thrown him back. It looked like Cole Weiss, the wide bay captain, would score, but he has been thrown back. Now it's Weiss getting up to play the ball. He does so. He gets it outside to Reynolds. Out further to Pearson, out to Denton. Here's a great chance for wide bay. He's got his winger lined up, Duggan. Duggan gets the ball all right, but he's thrown it a touch. And the scrum will go down now, only about 5 yards out from the New Zealand touchline on the northern side of the Albert Park ground. New Zealand leading wide bay by 17 points to 6, and wide bay at the moment in a very strong attacking position. Possession from the scrum here would be very, very handy indeed for wide bay. It's still there. It's a New Zealand ball. New Zealand ball. New Zealand now to get up and play this ball just outside of their own goal line. Wide bay attacking, but they have lost possession. Comes out to Henry Tatana. I'm sorry, it's Ray Snell, the New Zealand lock forward. The narrow tackle has got up and played the ball away to fullback Doug Elwood, but the pass has gone astray. It's wide bay in possession. Halfback Colin Reynolds, dodging and waving, makes quite a bit of ground. Gets the pass inside to Kerr, the replacement forward, and Kerr is pulled down in centre field 10 yards out from the New Zealand touchline. Now it goes further outside to Brady, and the big Bundaberg forward was almost in, wide out on the southwestern corner. Brady getting up now to play the ball. Dosso gets it back to Pearson. Outside it goes to Weiss, and he can't get through the defence. Oh, the ball almost went astray, but it was finally taken by Brosnan, and it's Brosnan now to play it for wide bay. Dosso gets it back inside to Gallagher, out to Colin Reynolds, up to Lingard, who's up into the movement, and now the movement has broken down with a tackle in centre field. I didn't get onto that wide bay player. He's getting up now. It was, I can't get on with him at all. Yes, it was Ralph Reynolds, the wide bay inside centre. He apparently knocked that ball on. The scrum packs now at centre field on the New Zealand 25. Once again, they get possession. The ball is served right outside to Lester Mills, and Mills has gone down. Mills now went down to a very good tackle there by the wide bay winger, Bob Ryan. Gets up now. The ball has been played away to Elwood, the New Zealand fullback. Elwood tackle gets up now, plays it away to Henry Tatana, the New Zealand second rower. And Tatana now has been tackled. No, it's Colin O'Neill. O'Neill gets up now. They clear the ruck all right out. Across the back line it comes. A high floating pass comes out here. Is not accepted by the New Zealand players, but it's finally accepted. It's Ricky Carey who finally goes in to get possession, but the referee has halted play. Carey, in attempting to go to that ball, knocks it forward. Scrum to go down now, about 10 yards in from the northern touch line, and only about 6 yards outside of the New Zealand 25. About 25 minutes of play gone in the second half of this international fixture, and New Zealand is leading wide bay by 17 points to 6. Now, once again, New Zealand has won possession from the scrum. Brown baked out of the tackle, but he goes down to another tackle by the wide bay winger Liam Duggan, who forced him into touch. Now the scrum to go down, still on the northern side of Albert Park ground, and a little closer to the New Zealand 25 than the halfway mark. This will be a penalty for sure, even from here. I think everybody who sees this on Channel 8 screen would have seen the New Zealand hooker speed up. But no, the referee has allowed it to go on. I thought he's going to pinch Tony Krulsic there for feet up in the scrum. Now this scrum collapses without a conclusive result. The referee has blown the whistle. We're just waiting to see. Yes, he wants to take the game. Down goes the scrum for the third time. In goes the ball. Well, actually, it didn't go past the loose head's foot, but it came back into the possession of the wide bay halfback Colin Reynolds, who was tackled after making a few yards. He plays it back to Duggan. but his pass inside is knocked to ground. Brady goes for it, but he can't get possession, and it's finally Elwood who clears it for New Zealand with a kick which travels right across the ground and finds touch in front of the grandstand on the southern side of Albert Park and much closer to the New Zealand 25 than the halfway mark. Well, for the last 10 minutes of the match, it's been Wide Bay on the attack, but they cannot finish off their movement, and lost possession has cost them one or two good scoring chances. At the moment, the score is New Zealand 17, Wide Bay 6, and it's possession for Wide Bay from the scrum. Reynolds didn't attempt to move. He got up, played the ball, gets it away to Brady, on to Dent, on to Colin Weiss, and Weiss is pulled down in centre field, just inside of the New Zealand 25. Outside it comes to Kerry Brown, onto the second row at Dent, and Dent will get up to play it for Wide Bay, and it's still Wide Bay on the attack, and here's the Wide Bay hooker, Noah Gallagher, trying to thread his way through, but his pass to Dent has gone to ground, and it's recovered by Elwood for New Zealand. Elwood gets up, plays the ball forward, recovers it, runs across field, trips, out, gets the pass away to O'Neill, the second rower. O'Neill runs across field, but made no ground at all before being put to earth by Dent. Dent gets up, O'Neill gets up and plays the ball, and it's big Wayne Smith, big Gary Smith, the New Zealand lock forward, who gets them out into the open. Tackle there, he gets up and plays the ball away to Snell, and Snell makes for the ground. Now the referee blows the whistle. He indicates the knock-on had occurred there, and he has ordered the scrum to pack almost in centre field and a little closer to the halfway mark than the New Zealand 25. And here's a bit of bad luck for Wide Bay. Halfback Colin Reynolds has been injured, and the referee, Mr. K. Jenkins of Central Queensland, has altered the play. And in the closing moments of the game, Wide Bay had an excellent chance of scoring when the Wide Bay hooker, Noah Gallagher, broke the line, got the pass away. That one fell to ground. And later, as we just came onto camera, Colin Weiss makes another dive towards the New Zealand line, only to be pushed out over the southern touch line, right on the New Zealand 25. About 2 minutes of play remain in the match, and New Zealand lead Wide Bay by 19 points to 6, and it's Wide Bay on the attack. And they've got possession from the scrum. Reynolds, however, is tackled immediately by Brown, the New Zealand halfback. Doesn't argue, gets up, plays the ball out to Weiss, on to Big Darrell Brady. Brady gets the ball away to who is it? Pearson, I think. Or is it Bosman? I just couldn't pick him from here. However, outside it comes to the Wide Bay outside centre, Cole Smith. Out to winger Liam Duggan, and Duggan gets within 10 yards of the New Zealand line and close to the northern touch line before being put down. From the ruck, it goes across field to the inside centre, Ralph Reynolds, and he looked a good chance, but his pass inside went astray, and it's New Zealand in possession. A loose ball there from the Wide Bay player. Kerry Brown saw the New Zealand fullback Duggan would snap it up and save the day for New Zealand. In the closing moments of this match now, and New Zealand leading Wide Bay by 19 points to 6. Gary White, the big New Zealand lock forward, breaks right through two tackles, gets the ball away to Robin Orchard, outside of the halfback Brown, whose kick goes into touch of the full, and a scrum will go down on the northern side of Albert Park ground, about 10 yards over the halfway mark in New Zealand territory. Scrums are packing down now. Here's Brown coming up. Yes, Brown coming up to serve scrum for New Zealand. Brown moves around quietly. Now the referee has blown the whistle and ordered the scrum to break. Takes it down again. In goes the ball. It's a one by Wide Bay. Across field to Kerry Brown. To outside centre Cole Smith, who is thrown rather heavily in centre field, just over the halfway line in Wide Bay territory from the ruck to Weiss. But once again, a loose ball brought about the undoing of another Wide Bay attack which threatened, and it's New Zealand in possession in front of the grandstand. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to meet a very good friend, Wally Grout.
Sam, how are you? Lovely. Did you enjoy the game?
Wally, I enjoyed it immensely. I was going to ask you, how did you enjoy it?
Well, I thought it was a great game. After yesterday's game, I thought New Zealand would have swamped. We'll say the locals up there, but I would say the local boys played very, very well. I thought that Colin Reynolds played a great game at halfback.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I thought he was our outstanding player.
I thought so too.
Ian Pearson, I thought, were the best of the Wide Bay players. Well,
yes.
Did you get Pearson into your calculation?
Yes, I did.
Getting back to yesterday's game, were you at Lang Park yesterday?
up here for the match that was supposed to be played here yesterday.
Oh, yes.
I think the heat up here may have, well, here this afternoon was very hot, I thought. And I thought the New Zealand boys towards the end started to sag a little bit in the also the hot going. And our chaps, well, they seem to keep going a bit.
That's right. I thought the secret of their success, Wally, was the New Zealand backing up more than anything else, and their ability to capitalise on our errors. As you know yourself, while our fellows lost a lot of balls in tackles.
That's right.
And these fellows almost invariably capitalised on it.
Yes, well, every time there was one New Zealander there was always another chap with him to take that ball off him too, Stan.
Yes.
Our chaps were going one out all the time and there was no one there to help him.
That's right, yes. Yes, they're very well skilled. Well, I saw them in their training session prior to yesterday's game in Brisbane.
Well, Stan, why they are well skilled, most of these chaps have been brought up on the Rothman National Sports Foundation in New Zealand. You see, they've been coached under our scheme over there. So
is that so?
that's quite right. I saw the manager over there before, and he said that 90% of the team have actually come up through the Rothman school.
Oh,
so,
Wally, that's wonderful. I
very
thought you
good.
were just getting a plug in.
No, it's quite right.
Oh, well, good on you, mate. Good. Of course, as you know, Wally is a member of the firm which sponsored today's match. It was very pleasing indeed to hear that those fellows received a lot of their training under the Rothmans Foundation. Well, it's been lovely to have you.
Nice to have been here, Stan. Thank you very much.
Bye now.